One second, I was sitting inside my classroom like it was a normal school day. Students were talking, some were writing notes, some were checking their phones under the desk. Zhao Ming, our class monitor, stood near the front with his usual confident expression. Liu Yuna, the school beauty, sat near the window where the sunlight made everyone look at her twice. And Lin Fan sat quietly near the back. Nothing looked strange, nothing felt dangerous. Then the classroom floor cracked. Blue-white light poured out from the cracks like the world itself had split open. The desks trembled, pens rolled off the tables. Students froze in shock. Zhao Ming's confident face finally changed. Liu Yuna stood up in panic, but I did not scream, I just watched, because something about that light felt too organized to be an accident. Then gravity disappeared, desks floated, books, phones, pens, and school bags rose into the air. Students grabbed their tables and screamed. The classroom walls shattered like glass. A huge dimensional rift opened in the middle of the room. Blue-white energy pulled everyone toward it. Zhao Ming gripped a desk with both hands. Liu Yuna reached out helplessly. My classmates screamed like they were being dragged into hell. Then the entire class fell into the rift. The classroom disappeared. All that remained was a massive blue-white tunnel. Desks and school items spun around us. People screamed from every direction, but while everyone panicked, I forced myself to stay calm. A few seconds later, I landed on one knee. The ground under me was not ground. It was a glowing white-blue platform floating in an endless void. My classmates landed around me, but they were not the only ones there. There were ordinary civilians, office workers, old people, young people, military soldiers, students from other schools, people from different countries. Hundreds of dead players stood together on the platform, confused, terrified, and unable to understand what had happened. Someone rushed toward the edge of the platform. The moment he reached the border, a transparent barrier threw him backward. Blue-white energy rippled across the invisible wall. The platform fell silent. Then a giant glowing system window appeared above us. There was no readable text, but somehow everyone understood the message. 300 dead people had been chosen for the apocalypse survival game. Only the final survivor could return to reality. The moment everyone understood that, fear turned into suspicion. Classmates stepped away from each other. Soldiers gripped their weapons. Civilians hid behind stronger people. Friends looked at friends like future enemies. Then golden reward shelves rose from the platform. They were filled with powers. Fire, lightning, healing, steel skin, beast transformation, teleportation, poison, invisibility, sword energy. The fear in everyone's eyes turned into greed. Players rushed forward. A fire player grabbed a red flame orb. A lightning player reached for a blue spear of electricity. A healing player clutched a green bottle. A steel skin player reached for a heavy gauntlet. People shoved and fought for the best abilities, but I walked past them because while everyone was staring at the brightest rewards, I saw something hidden at the very end of the final shelf. A plain black coin. It was covered in dust. Compared to the glowing powers behind me, it looked worthless. No flames, no lightning, no holy glow, no weapon aura. But the moment I saw it, I felt something different, so I reached out and touched it. The black coin melted into my palm. A black gold crown mark appeared on my skin. The system gave me my reward, infinite wealth. For 1 second, everyone stared at my hand, then they laughed. Students pointed at me. Some players said money was useless in the apocalypse. Some said I had wasted my only chance to survive. Zhao Ming stepped forward with a smug grin. He had chosen mind control. A purple mask fused into one side of his face and his eyes glowed violet. He looked at me like I was already dead. He said when the apocalypse came, money would turn into paper. Then Liu Yuna chose charm of love. A pink crystal heart floated near her chest. Several male players immediately looked at her with empty devotion. They surrounded her like loyal guards. Everyone praised Liu Yuna. Everyone feared Zhao Ming. Everyone mocked me, but I did not explain myself. Because the system gave us 1 year of preparation before the apocalypse began. And if everyone else had 1 year to train their powers, I had 1 year to spend infinite money. When I returned to the real world, I did not waste a single hour. That same night, I opened a world map. I searched through island locations, coastlines, shipping routes, weather patterns, military distance, and ocean depth. Then I found the perfect place, a remote island in the Pacific Ocean. I bought it. I named it Future Island. To the public, it looked like I was building a luxury resort. There were villas, hotels, beaches, private facilities, beautiful roads, and buildings that looked like they were made for rich tourists, but that was only the surface. Underground, I built a true doomsday fortress. Thick steel walls, reinforced concrete, airtight blast doors, maze corridors. Narrow tunnels, hidden wall panels, emergency exits, backup routes, medical rooms, food warehouses, weapon vaults, drone hangars, control rooms, water purification systems, air purification systems, automated farms, submarine docks, and an underground nuclear power plant. I did not build a shelter, I built a world. I hired engineers to design the bunker, construction workers to build the island, agricultural technicians to create underground farms, doctors to organize medical systems, scientists to build laboratories, drone technicians to prepare unmanned aircraft, control room staff to monitor everything, mercenaries to gather intelligence, and security teams to make sure no one knew the truth. I bought companies, food companies, medical companies, shipping companies, airlines, satellite networks, private security firms, and even a space exploration company. I launched satellites. I built a satellite control room. I created global surveillance. I bought weapons. I bought drones. I bought mobile combat robots. I built artificial reefs around Future Island. I placed underwater defenses around the coast. I installed electric grids above the island. And then for my final insurance, I prepared 2 hidden nuclear warheads. One was buried deep beneath Future Island. The other was hidden inside a fake supply vault in another country. The first one was for the enemy who came to my island. The second one was for the enemy who believed they had found my backup supplies. While other players practiced their powers, I hired mercenaries to track them. Names, faces, locations, powers, weaknesses, habits. Every player became a file. 1 week before the apocalypse began, I gave one final order. I cut off long-distance escape routes. Airports burned, cargo ships sank, private aircraft vanished from the sky. I did not do it because I was cruel. I did it because once the apocalypse started, every player would try to reach me. And I wanted the ocean to become my first wall. Before the countdown ended, Zhao Ming messaged me. He asked if I was the mysterious global tycoon. I ignored him. Then the apocalypse began. The player list became public. I was player 99. Zhao Ming was player 100. Liu Yuna was player 101. Everyone saw my name. Everyone remembered the black coin. Everyone remembered that they had laughed at me. The first disaster was not zombies, it was rain. Endless rain, dark clouds covered the cities. Floodwater rose through the streets. Cars floated away. Subways drowned. Underground parking lots became death traps. People screamed from rooftops. The players who had mocked me finally understood the first truth. Fire could not stop a flood. Lightning was dangerous in water. Steel skin could not feed anyone. Beast transformation could not stop hunger. Healing could not save someone trapped under a drowned city. On Future Island, I watched the storm from a dry command room. The drainage systems worked. The bunker stayed sealed. The farm stayed alive. The power stayed on. While the world drowned, I ate warm food and watched. Soon, chaos spread. A fire ability player burned through an apartment door to rob civilians for supplies. He thought flames made him invincible. Then special forces arrived in rescue boats. They surrounded the building. He fought them in the hallway. He tried to escape from the rooftop. But in the end, he fell into the floodwater. His flames disappeared in the rain. That was when everyone realized powers did not make players untouchable. A beast ability player took over a flooded prison compound. A lightning ability player occupied a damaged power station and forced civilians to bring supplies. A teleport-type player robbed a military warehouse. A healing ability player was captured and locked inside a government laboratory. The world did not worship ability users. The world hunted them. Then someone exposed me. They told everyone player 99 owned shelters around the world, so I smiled. And I released 4 shelter locations. Dragon Country, Eagle Country, Hands Country, Kangaroo Country. Each shelter had only 20 spots, first come, first served. The fast players arrived first. Speed users sprinted across rooftops. Agility users jumped between buildings. Teleport users appeared through blue spatial ripples. Chen Hao, a livestream player, entered one of the shelters. He showed everyone warm beds, clean water, medicine, steak, wine, electricity. His livestream became bait. Players outside went insane. They begged. They pounded on the reinforced walls. They used weak powers against the entrance. They pushed through floodwater and rain, desperate for safety. Then I revealed a hidden entrance. 8 extra spots. That was all it took. The players began fighting each other. Vine ability girl released vines to trip the players ahead of her. Blade ability player cut through the vines and sent a sharp wind blade back at her. Lightning ability player struck the wet ground and electricity spread through the floodwater. Poison ability player attacked from the muddy water. Steel skin player smashed him into the wall. Blade ability player, lightning ability player, steel skin player, and several others forced their way toward the shelter entrance. Inside, Chen Hao hid behind a table with terrified eyes. The same live stream that made him famous had also made him a target. Speed ability player and agility ability player entered the narrow corridor, but there was no space to run. Their powers were useless in a trap designed for limited movement. From Future Island, I watched 4 shelter feeds at once. Zhao Ming also watched from a distance, amused and calculating. He refused to enter the trap himself. He was not stupid, but the others were desperate. I placed my finger above the detonation butt. Inside the shelter, Chen Hao raised a shaking glass. The strongest players stood among broken luxury furniture, thinking they had won. Then I pressed the butt. the shelters erupted, floors cracked open. Fire and shockwaves tore through the luxury interiors. The players inside were eliminated. The corridors collapsed. Teleportation failed. Speed had nowhere to run. Strength had nowhere to hide. On my screens, all 4 shelters disappeared in flames. The system rewarded me for the highest kill count. A golden teleportation ticket materialized in front of me. I looked at it, then I stored it. A true final card must remain hidden until the end. After the floodwaters receded, the second stage began. The plague drowned streets filled with mud. Abandoned cars sat half-buried. Gray-skinned zombies rose from the water. At first, the remaining combat players were confident. Fire burned zombies. Blade energy cut them down. Steel skin smashed them aside. But then the zombies evolved. When they defeated ability users, they absorbed traces of their power. Their claws grew sharper. Their eyes became smarter. Some became commanders. Then he appeared, the zombie emperor. He stood above kneeling ordinary zombies and evolved zombies like a king. He was not mindless. He ruled the infected like an army. He absorbed power from defeated players and evolved zombies. Every time he consumed energy, he became more terrifying, and beside him stood Liu Yuna. Her charm of love had worked on him. The zombie emperor protected her. Charmed male followers brought her supplies. Ordinary zombies avoided her. She stood inside a ruined luxury building with clean clothes while the world collapsed outside. Then Liu Yuna contacted me. She smiled through the screen and offered cooperation. I refused. Because borrowed power is not real power. If the person protecting you disappears, you disappear with them. The world became worse. Zombies flooded major cities. Evolved zombies climbed buildings. Soldiers fired from barricades. Civilians fled through smoke and broken cars. Military bunkers made desperate decisions. Nuclear launches turned infected cities into glowing craters. Military bases were overrun. Missile trails crossed stormy skies. From my satellite control room, I watched multiple explosions across the world. Burning city, radioactive ruin, zombie hordes moving through smoke. The planet was collapsing. 3 major forces remained. Zhao Ming controlled a military faction through mind control. Military officers stood beside him with blank violet eyes. Soldiers obeyed silently. War machines moved under his command. The zombie emperor ruled the zombie army. Smart zombie commanders kneeled before him. Ordinary zombies and evolved zombies filled the destroyed streets behind him. And Han Rui, player 128, controlled a gang alliance with gravity control. Han Rui was dangerous. He could crush weapons to the ground. He could pin people down without touching them. He could collapse buildings. He could turn a market into a graveyard with one hand, but every power has a weakness, and his weakness was simple. Gravity was powerful against heavy things, but it was useless against extremely light things. Threads, mist, powder, dust, I wrote it down. Then the third disaster began. Frozen continent. The temperature collapsed across the world. A modern city was buried under sudden snow. Cars froze in place. Power lines fell. Civilians struggled through whiteout blizzards. Future Island was battered by the storm. The aerial electric grid was damaged. Engineers rushed to monitor backup systems. But the underground nuclear power plant stayed active. Han Rui's gang alliance began to crack. His members were starving. They argued over small supply crates inside a frozen warehouse. That was when I contacted him. I told Han Rui I had hidden supplies inside his territory, but if he wanted them, he had to kill the zombie emperor. Han Rui did not trust me, but hungry men do not need trust. They need food, so I sent him another gift. Purification agent. My scientists created it to destroy infected flesh. It was not a cure, it was a weapon. When Han Rui's men tested it on a captured zombie, the infected body dissolved into black blood. Han Rui's gang watched in shock. Han Rui believed he could use it to kill the zombie emperor, and after that he believed he could kill me, so he accepted. Hundreds of drones were loaded with purification agent canisters. They flew over zombie territory at night during heavy snow. The agent mixed with the falling snow. Ordinary zombies began melting in the streets. Evolved zombies collapsed. The zombie emperor woke inside a ruined luxury building. His sharp eyes opened. Liu Yuna rested nearby under his protection. Black thread-like energy formed around his hand. He stepped into the frozen street and shot dark threads into the sky. Drones exploded above him. Then Han Rui arrived. He raised one hand. Gravity crushed the street. Cars flattened. Streetlights bent. Concrete cracked. The zombie emperor was forced down to one knee. Han Rui's gang rushed forward, but smart zombie commanders and evolved zombies burst from ruined buildings. They attacked from windows and rooftops. Han Rui clenched his fist and tore an entire frozen building apart with gravity. Concrete slabs and steel beams collapsed onto the zombies. For a moment, it looked like Han Rui had won. The zombie emperor was buried under rubble. Han Rui smiled. Then Liu Yuna screamed from a damaged balcony. Han Rui looked up and flicked his finger. Cracks spread across the balcony floor. Liu Yuna fell. The zombie emperor burst out of the rubble and caught her with one arm. With his other hand, he released countless thin black threads. The threads shot across the snowy battlefield and wrapped around Hanrui. Hanrui increased gravity. The ground split, cars folded, concrete shattered, but the threads were too light, gravity could not catch them. For the first time, Hanrui looked afraid. The zombie emperor pulled. Hanrui's gravity aura collapsed. Hanrui was defeated, but I had already prepared for that too. Hidden purification packets were inside Hanrui's clothes, armor, and supply packs. When he fell, the packets burst. Glowing chemical mist sprayed onto the zombie emperor. His black threads began to dissolve. His infected body melted into black blood. The zombie emperor roared. His power collapsed. Then he fell. Liu Yuna screamed in terror. Her pink charm aura flickered weakly. No one was left to protect her. She ran across the frozen ruins. The ice cracked beneath her feet. She reached upward, expecting someone to save her, but no one came. She fell into freezing dark water. The zombie emperor died because of the purification agent. Hanrui died because his weakness was used against him. Liu Yuna died because borrowed protection was never real strength. Only one true enemy remained, Zhao Ming. But Zhao Ming did not attack me directly at first. He sent someone else, Bai Shen, a teleport-type player. Bai Shen could move small teams across long distances, which made him extremely useful to Zhao Ming. Zhao Ming ordered Bai Shen and a military strike team to enter one of my fake backup vaults. Bai Shen opened a blue spatial portal. The soldiers stepped through with weapons ready. Inside the vault, they found rows of sealed crates. Food, medicine, supplies, or at least that was what they thought. Bai Shen smiled. He believed he had found my hidden wealth. And he tried to teleport again. His power flickered. The blue spatial energy around his hand failed. The reinforced walls were lined with interference materials. He realized the vault was a trap. Too late. From Future Island, I activated the second nuclear warhead. The fake supply vault disappeared in a white nuclear flash. Bai Shen and the strike team were swallowed by light. Zhao Ming watched the explosion from his command room. His violet eyes burned with rage. He had lost his best escape option. After that, he stopped testing me. He decided to attack directly. He called me out through the world channel. He said the game belonged to smart people. He said I had done well, but every game needed a loser. Then he launched his final attack. His mind control had one weakness. He had to face the target directly. If he could not see me, he could not control me, so he used brute force. Missiles rose into the stormy sky, then they rained down on Future Island. Luxury surface buildings exploded. The airstrip split apart. Mountains cracked. Smoke and fire covered the island coastline. Inside the Future Island command room, alarms flashed. The walls shook. Control room staff braced themselves. I stood calmly in the center, because Future Island was no longer my home. It was bait. Zhao Ming's fleet approached through smoke and rough ocean. An aircraft carrier led the formation. Warships and landing craft followed behind it. His soldiers forced their way through damaged artificial reefs and underwater defenses. Then Zhao Ming stepped onto the blackened shore. Ruined villas smoked behind him. Broken towers leaned in the distance. His soldiers spread out with rifles. Zhao Ming smiled like victory was already hit. Then he found the exposed underground bunker entrance. The damaged steel door was half buried in rubble. His soldiers aimed their flashlights and weapons into the darkness. They blasted the door open with heavy weapons. Sparks and debris flew outward. Behind the broken door was a pitch-black tunnel. Zhao Ming stood before the entrance and laughed. He pointed for his soldiers to enter. To him, it looked like I was hiding underground. Then I answered his video call. Zhao Ming smiled and told me it was too late to beg. I said nothing. I simply pointed behind me. Earth glowed outside the reinforced window. Endless space stretched behind my shoulder. Only then did Zhao Ming's smile disappear. He realized I was not on Future Island. I was in space. Before his army arrived, I had used the golden teleportation ticket to move myself and my most important supplies to a private space station. Future Island was not my last shelter. It was my final trap. Zhao Ming looked at the empty tunnel. He looked at the cracked ground. His violet eyes widened. He shouted for retreat. His soldiers panicked and ran toward the landing craft, but beneath their feet, the ground began glowing white. Deep beneath Future Island, the hidden nuclear warhead activated. From the space station, I pressed the final command. A massive white light erupted from under the island. The ruined bunker entrance disappeared. The cracked ground vanished. The shoreline broke. The bunker collapsed underground. The ocean surged outward. The aircraft carrier was thrown back by the shockwave. Zhao Ming's face was lit by pure white nuclear light. His violet eyes widened in fear. The purple mask cracked under the glow. Then the video call turned white, then black. The system announced the final result. Player 99 was the sole survivor. I stood alone inside the space station. Earth glowed beneath me. A golden system window appeared before me. The winner could return to reality and bring one chosen reward back. I looked around. There was the space station. The weapons, the satellites, the supplies, the teleportation ticket, everything I had built, everything I had prepared. But none of those were the real reason I survived, so I chose infinite wealth. The black coin appeared above my palm. The black gold crown mark blazed with golden light. Then the space station filled with white light. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in the real world. The classroom was quiet. Sunlight came through the windows. No apocalypse, no flood, no zombies, no frozen city, no ruined island, no war. But when I looked at my palm, the black gold crown mark was still there. Infinite wealth had returned with me. I opened my laptop. Golden light reflected on my face. The power was still active. Everyone said money was useless in the apocalypse, but money bought information. Money bought time. Money bought shelters. Money bought weapons. Money bought satellites. Money bought preparation. Fire could not stop a flood. Gravity could not catch a thread. Charm could not survive without protection. Mind control could not control someone it could not face. Armies could not win after walking into a battlefield already prepared to explode. Powers can win battles. Weapons can win wars, but preparation wins the end of the world. And I was the only one who prepared from the very beginning. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more manhwa recap stories like this.